think it's going now. Okay, keep going. So what are your 3 strengths?
I think my 3 strengths would be that, like I said, I'm a good communicator, and I have good work ethic, and I'm precise with what I do, so I like doing everything right. And, yeah.
Okay, so you're careful about things.
Very
All right. What would you say is something that maybe you need to work on a little bit or is a weakness for you?
I think a weakness for me might be remembering some drinks. Maybe if they say a drink to me that I don't know, I think that would be hard, so I would have to look it up and be able to do that.
So maybe just learning the specifics of the job. Okay. So if I were to hire you, how would you know if you were doing well? What would tell you that you were successful in the job?
Maybe the way that the customers would respond to the drinks, or if they come back, that would say that, I'm friendly. And I think that's good.
Okay. Let's see. Can you tell me about some kind of group project that you've worked on and how that went? And
a good project that I think last year I had a Utopia project, and that's when we had to make our own society. And I think I showed good leadership because not a lot of them knew how to do it, so I had to give them a particular, what to do, and I had told them how to do it. So I think that showed good leadership.
So you were kind of the one in the group who assigned tasks and things like that. And how did people respond to that when you gave them tasks?
Our project turned out to be very successful.
Nice.
We got a good grade.
Good. Let's see. So can you tell me about a recent work-related problem and the actions you took to solve it, or maybe a problem at school or in a club you're in if you don't have a job right now?
I babysit a lot. Okay. And they called, they wanted me to do an overnight shift, and I already had plans, but I canceled my plans and babysat, so I think that was very good because I was dedicated to them.
Okay. Let's see. The next question's about leadership, but you already sort of talked about that. Tell me a little bit about, besides babysitting, what else do you like to do? How else do you spend your time?
Well, I don't play any sports, but
not everybody can play sports.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Usually after school, I just hang out with my friends, and I like playing volleyball. Okay. So I do that recreationally. I work out after school. I think that's really, I babysit too, but
that's kind of the thing that you do the most.
Sometimes I would help my mom at her job. She's like a caregiver. Oh, okay. So I sometimes, if I were to go with her to work, I would walk around with her, pass her the things, and I would be nice to the patients and stuff.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah. So for this job, what do you think that I should do to what do you do on a daily basis, really?
Well, so at Dutch Brothers, of course, we serve drinks, right? But there's more to that than just, the skills that you talked about serving customers. You also have to be able to, manage the money piece of that. So there's that business. There's also, before we open the little windows, it's making sure that, we're well stocked and all your supplies are in order. And then I think, there's periods of time during the day where you'll have a lineup of cars, and then there's periods of time where you would be busy maybe stocking the shelves or doing some other things. So part of the job is just kind of making sure that you
good timing.
And that you're self-directed, right? That even if there aren't customers, you can find something productive to do. Does that sort of make sense? Yeah. Keep yourself busy. There's always something to do. Yeah. I'm sure you have everything put well together. Yeah. So you don't have to keep them waiting or anything. Right. And I think you're right that anyone, most people, I suppose, can
Yeah.
learn how to make a drink. It's
Yeah.
not just, that, which will, we would teach you how to do, and you would learn all the drinks. It is more about being friendly with customers and being prompt and organized and on time. And it's a pretty small space, right? So you also have to be able to work well with others, because if you're in that small space with a coworker, y'all have to get along pretty well. So I think that's, those are kind of the skills that you would need, and it sounds like you have a lot of those skills already, so that's great. Is there any other thing that you want to say to me about why we should hire you for the job?
I like keeping myself busy, so I would be up to learning to how to make those drinks, and I have good memory, so I'd be able to remember how to make those particular drinks. And I am friendly I think I am, so I think that's good.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not that So, do you think that, like, the drinks, there's, like, a lot of steps to them, maybe? Or...
Some of them there are, but we have them on little cards, and so you can, there's lots of cheat sheets you can use at first. And there's drinks that are pretty popular, so, once you learn how to make those, you'll do them over and over and over again. And then the ones that you don't make very often, I mean, even I have to look at the sheet to figure out, those drinks. So that part's not too tough, and we don't expect you to learn it overnight.
Yeah. It'll take time.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Well done.
Thank you.
Have you applied for a job at Dutch Brothers before? Are you thinking about it?
I was thinking about it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe you should. Let me take a look at your resume for a minute here. Let's see. Looks like you've done kind of some other things too. You've worked at concession stands.
Yes.
So if you're applying for a job in food service, you should talk about that in the interview, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a similar job. So make sure you talk about that.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was like a job or not, because it's like it's volunteer experience. So I thought
but
maybe
it still shows that you have some experience in food service. So I would talk about it and say, oh, well, I'm familiar with being behind a counter, and I know what it's like to serve someone.
Yeah.
I volunteered for concessions. That counts. I would definitely talk about that. Oh, and you're an office aide. I would talk about those skills too. That you know how to, that you follow directions, that you complete tasks on time. Those are all skills that you should absolutely highlight when you're talking to somebody about a job.
Okay.
So it's nice that they're highlighted in here, but just make sure you mention them.
Yeah.
Okay. And I found this last year too when I did these, that people I look at the resume and say, well, why didn't you talk about this, this, and this? And, well, I didn't know I was supposed to. Yeah, I mean, you should highlight your skills. Because even if you don't have 10 jobs on here, you still have lots of skills on here.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you talk about babysitting, too, you can say, I was in charge of this many children. I was in charge of meal prep. I kept the house organized. It wasn't just that I sat in a room, and just played on my phone, right? Okay. That you were, that there were some
active with them.
And there were some responsibilities involved in that. And same thing with the concession stand thing, or any of these things. I mean, they all require you to have some skills that are transferable to a job. So just don't sell yourself short, I think is what I would say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
Are you glad this is over?
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Were you? You did a very nice job for being nervous. You did a really, really nice job.
I should have mentioned that stuff. Like the concession stands, I should have. That's good. Because it does have something to do with food.
Yeah, and I didn't actually... I mean, if you were really applying for a job at Dutch Brothers, they would probably say, do you have any experience in food service?
Yeah.
I didn't ask you that specific question. And that would have given you a chance to say, well, I have volunteered at the concession stands at my high school or whatever, to talk about that a little bit. But I think it's just really important to realize that you have skills in the things that you do, even if they weren't paid experiences.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Remember that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was nice to meet you too. All right, you're free to go. I don't think I'm supposed to give you any of this, right? I think I keep it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Amy. You want to shut the door?
Yes, I will.
All right. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm okay.
Good. So here's a
All
resume.
right. I'll probably look at this after, if that's okay.
It's okay.
And I have to take notes, but that doesn't mean I'm not listening. So
yeah.
if I don't look at you, don't
That's
think
fine.
I'm being rude. So you are looking for a job. Where's your sheet? I had it in front of me. At Costco,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Is that true, or is that just
Well,
something you came up with for the interview today?
I mean, if I could, I would. But
if you could do it.
yeah.
Okay.
I like Costco.
All right.
But,
Cool.
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, Tony.
So I am currently at